Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's broadcast. I don't even remember what is it, day 67, I think, of my challenge. Um, Probably in the 40s as far as broadcasts go. We're getting close to number 40 here. Um, I'm sure I already asked. How's everybody doing? I'd love to hear anybody's non-scale victories they have. Any challenges that you have with your diets. Maybe we can help you out, or somebody has some advice for you. Uh, and if I don't, the first thing I'm gonna hear, I don't know why, or I'm a little bit distracted. Obviously, I'm always every time I get on, I think I'm distracted, or I have something else going on, or something's got me. Um, something or another's got me from being right on the ball, right? Um, let's see. So today, unexpected challenges. Talk about there. The most basic of non-scale victories, Bolt says, is you were on the last notch of your belt for a long time, and now you were on the second to last. That is good non-scale victory. The first one people are gonna know. I mean, that's one of the first ones a lot of people will notice that waistline starting, and it's going in the right direction. That's awesome to hear. I just read your update there on our Discord, and I'm gonna link it in the description eventually. Just have it so it's on every description. But we do have a Discord. I think that I can this, and I go copy. I'm gonna put it in the chat on the page here. I don't think I can edit the um, title but I'm going to try doing that at some point here as I'm doing other things. Let me get my notes back up. So the um, unexpected challenges, and well, the first thing I guess it's not necessarily a challenge, or it's part of all of it, but uh, it's something where uh, I weighed in on Monday. I was very surprised that I was down to 107.8, but I uh was at 107.8. That was like 8 pounds down since from before I went on the trip. Um, I don't like video weigh every day, but I do have the scale here at my office, and so I do hop on it. The thing that I run into is I don't wear the same type of clothes every day. Like today, I'm not wearing the same type of pants as I wore yesterday. So those things weigh different. So there's going to be a fluctuation in my weight. But I'm actually in a pretty similar outfit to what I wore Monday. Um, and my weight actually went up on the scale. So I just kind of what took me so long to even get on here is because I just double checked it just to see what it was at. It was actually at 109.4. So that's like up 1.6 pounds. Which it's uh I have zero worries about it. I guess that's what I got to say at the very start of this. Like I haven't done anything that would be uh off diet, or anything that would be like I would have a reason to have gained weight other than my body's just doing what bodies do. It's holding stuff onto stuff, or it's uh and so I expect to see that come off, or not. I don't expect to see that last. And like I said again, it could be that maybe the shirt's heavier than the shirt I wore. I might not have had a second shirt on, but there's if I would have done something where I was eating a lot of calories, or had a cheat day or something, maybe I could be. But when I'm 100% sticking to this diet, and it's not, I have no concerns over it. And the other thing that plays a factor too is the scale that I use is like a $50. Like I don't even I should look it up sometime, but I just a month or so before I started doing these broadcasts, I just Googled scales that would do up to 550 pounds or over 500 pounds. That came up, and I remember even when I bought it, I was like, I can't believe how cheap this is that it does that heavy of a weight. So that being said, my scale, it could just not be great, but I figure if I'm using a consistent scale from the start to the end. Oh, oh, I must have hit a button when I threw that over there. Sorry. Um, yeah, the scale could just suck, but I'm using the same scale through the whole process. It it generally, it's worked fine. I've had, like I said, there's been times where I've been surprised by the amount of weight I've lost, and almost every time, uh, I think that it probably has to do with, but but yeah. So those are the factors: the scale itself, and then my body's just retaining something. Hey, Carrie just got on, guy. But the I had like we were joking the other day about bananas, and I had two bananas one afternoon, I think, and I was like, "How many bananas can you have before it's a problem?" Carrie was like, "Well, I wouldn't eat more than 3 in a day, um, because of clogging issues in the digestive system." What we were joking about, and so that could be it too. It could be just that those, I got stuff that's slowing down my digestive system in my stomach. Um, yeah, there's a million things it could be. It could be that I was super active all weekend and then I went to sedentary, and my body uh, is freaking out because I never went over the Garmin stuff. I can try to, I don't know, just, um, link that while I'm talking. But let's see. Bolt just says here, I used to be so obsessed with the scale. I own a doctor style scale where it has the weights that you need to shift left and right. I am more focused on the process now. The weight loss will come. Yeah, I have actually. I do have one of those style scales. Me and my brothers um, were all overweight or not as. A couple of my brothers not so much anymore. But this phone just died. I have like a separate phone that I can connect to my computer that does the Garmin thing. I don't know if I'll be able to do Garmin today, but that could be a thing too. That my body, just going from so active to back to sedentary, it's just freaking out a little bit. But while I do think the scale is important, can't obsess over it, and it is not a day to day thing. It's a um, week, month, year lifestyle kind of thing, and so that it's the big things, So if I get on the scale in 2 days, uh, and I'm still up a couple pounds, then I might start looking at what I'm eating. But as far as calorie wise, I can't imagine I'm anywhere near the calories. But I mean, things, I guess, yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe if come Friday I gain weight, then I'll probably start recording what I'm eating to get a better idea of what's going on. Because the only thing I would say that I have probably more of the nuts like cashews and peanut butters than uh, one should probably normally. Or I guess I'm using that to kind of help uh, replace the fact that I don't have a good variety of foods that I enjoy right now. So I'm taking the foods I know I enjoy, like this Ezekiel bread and peanut peanut butter, no oil peanut butter, or no oil added peanut butter. That I'm using that to kind of get my calories because it's something I can eat that I know I will enjoy, but I'm also trying to slowly broaden my horizons, I suppose. Yesterday could be an example of that. Carrie made a soup that was Ethiopian. So Ethiopian. So it was definitely something we had not uh, thought or not been on the plate before. Lots of lentils and BTS, you're doing keto. No. So what we're doing right now, or me and my wife are doing, we are doing whole food plant based, and then we are not eating any salt, oil, or sugar in our foods right now. So it's pretty basic. Uh, the more I've gotten into researching things, the more I was it pumpkin? Okay, so Carrie, it's Ethiopian pumpkin stew. Okay, is it pumpkin that was in it? I just totally just changed tracks. I thought it was sweet potatoes, but I was like, gosh, this tastes a lot like pumpkin. Okay, so it's butternut squash. Okay, so um, but so yeah, butternut squash. Okay, because I didn't, I just knew there was an orange something in it. So let's see. BT says, check out Durian Rider. I followed his protocol and lost the same amount as you within a year. No oil and high carbs is the secret. 100% vegan for the win. Yeah, there's what I've kind of said throughout this is that the losing the weight is, I think that there's a lot of ways we can all lose weight, and whatever we have to do to lose the weight is, uh, what if it takes doing that type of diet to get you to lose the weight, do what you have to do to lose the weight. For me, it's what I'm trying to figure out is what I am going to do at the end, and what I'm finding now is that I really am starting to like the choice that we've made not so far. Like, and it's so tough when you're on these diets because when I've lost weight before, it was, the super low calorie, uh, and then Atkins and carnivore and all these other things I've done to lose weight. All of them have failed me in the end because I don't plan for what I've done when I've hit my goal. I've done very well hitting goals. I've had uh, it's been that once I hit that goal and then I like, all right, well, I can go back to the way I was eating, and so I'm trying to figure out, through this process and uh, what's going to be best for me. And I think everybody has a different best too, because I have friends that can eat at fast food restaurants and they weigh 195 pounds. And so, but they don't have the same hunger drive that I have, and that I feel many people that get to the super obese category um have. And so um it's all about finding what process works for you. I'm really liking this one so far. I've been super surprised. I did not go into my fast expecting. In fact, I've had multiple conversations going into my fast about veganism because my brother had switched to veganism. I guess I don't. Veganism isn't really a vegan diet. 6 or 8, or I guess it's a year ago now that he switched over to a vegan diet, and he was having lots of pretty good success with it. But I was like, I'm never gonna do that. I just can't imagine not eating a steak, or like, okay, maybe I'll not eat it every day, but I'm gonna eat every couple days. And now I'm in a position where I don't miss it even at this point that I haven't had it for 2.5 months. Um, let's see. Bolt talks of, let's see, Bolt responded that Durian Rider has always been thin. You like to follow people who were big and then lost it and then kept it off. Um, and then he says we still need that recipe cooking channel in the Discord. Yeah, I was looking at, I only got on the Discord. I made a comment, I think somebody had updated how they were doing. And then yeah, we can do something like that. And then Carrie says that she's pretty shocked at how little she misses meat. Yeah, and that's the thing we talked about a couple times too. We've had it's not necessarily that I don't want meat or that I miss meat, but the diet we're doing right now with the no salt, oil, or sugar, uh, I don't think anything with meat sounds appetizing if it isn't cooked with an oil or salted. Like the idea of just grabbing a steak out of the fridge and throwing it on this the grill doesn't sound as enjoyable as some of grabbing as far as like what I'm gonna get out of it. And so for me, that's why I feel like I don't miss meat. Like if I was still having salts and was still putting, because you can put like steak sauces on the broccoli. Like you could steam broccoli and then put like a Lowry steak rub on it, and it kind of still tastes and still the steak flavor. So, those things help those flavors out a lot. And then BT says Durian Ride was obese back in the day. He had big old chipmunk cheeks. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who. I mean, it's the. I'll have to check them out. There's a few other people that I've been checking out. I think Bolt, you had mentioned the Crocs in the Kitchen. I was just watching an interview with them and Ray Cronice. And Julianne, I don't know her last name, but they have a book that kind of started looking through the front of it. They talk. It's called the Health Span Solution. It's also kind of up the same avenue as what we're doing. They were talking about in the interview I was listening to is that they use salts and oils, but they don't use them to cook. I guess is what they try not to like to put oil in a pan and then put stuff on it. They use it to add flavor at the end, I guess. So it's a different way of using salts than we've used, which is an interesting thing as well, and maybe something that I I would like to maybe transition to something towards that goal. Because as much as I do enjoy this diet, I do know there's a chance I'll get sick of it, like I talked about with the sausages and the other stuff, where I did those diets where I was just sticking to eating a few different things, and then it gets repetitive, and then you get sick of the food. Right now, I haven't gotten sick of anything. I've had more enjoyment from the foods than I ever expected, as far as like to say you're just gonna eat a plain potato. I had like half a can of corn, that's just canned corn, no sodium added. And those things taste better today than they did 2 weeks ago when I had them for the first time fast. And I think that's part of it. Um, let's see. BT says, I found you from the Reddit. I was curious how you managed to fast for so long, mainly just wondering how you had so much mental fortitude and what you did to push. So Carrie, we actually just talked a little bit about this the other day, and that I want to make sure that people, I guess, understand is that I didn't just decide to do a 40-day fast and then fasted 40 days. I've done multiple day fasts in the past. I had toyed with some shorter ones, and then a while back I had done a 30-day fast that I lost not as much as I did this time, but I did lose weight. Um, when I did that 30-day fast, I felt like $1,000,000 at the end of it. I was nervous the whole time. I was worried about electrolytes. I was worried about whether or not I was going to get dizzy. I was worried about, everybody would think I'm crazy if they knew I was doing this at the moment. Um, but the whole time I didn't think about what I was going to do when I got done. And when I got done, um, I tried to refeed appropriately. I didn't want to harm myself by refeeding inappropriately. I remember like had like beef broth. You only have a little bit of this or that or whatever. And I can remember being so unsatisfied when I ate and just being like, I mean, it was within a week of finishing that 30-day fast that I was um, back at a fast food drive through buying fast food. Because I didn't have a plan coming when I came out. And so even though I didn't have a great plan going into this fast, I knew during the fast that I had to find out what I was going to do and I had to have a plan coming out of the fast. And what I would say got me through the fast is my confidence in my own body's ability. And then as I was fasting and doing this last fast and did more research and found places like what they're doing at the True North Clinic and other places where they're medically supervised, but the there's thousands of people that have done 20, 30, 40-day fast. And like I said, I'd already done a 30-day, so I had confidence. I guess was the biggest thing. I had confidence that, and I get really wrapped up in like evolutionary like physiology. In fact, I wrote it anyways, but um and about how like what we're presented with food wise today is not what our ancestors or what our bodies for millions and millions of years evolved to eat. And then the book The Pleasure Trap that I'm reading right now really echoes a lot of those sentiments that I felt before going into the fast, before knowing it even existed. Um, and so then, um, so yeah, my body's confidence that, or my mental confidence that my body's awesome at storing fat. If my body sucked at storing fat, I wouldn't have weighed 520 pounds. And so it doesn't make sense that my body would be so awesome at the fat storing ability. But then when it came to the fat burning or the fat using, that it would suck. Like so I guess I used the fact that my body's so good at making me fat. Why would it be so good at making me fat if it wasn't so good at burning that fat? And it did great. Twice now. The first time, the 30-day fast, I lost 60 pounds. The 40-day fast, I lost 90 pounds. So my body knows what to do when there's no food present. And I think that that is inherent in all humans that are obese. There's other medical factors and there's other things that come into play. And also above all, what I tell people when they say they've had a hard time with fasts, things like that, is you can't do stuff. You can't have an active life and decide to fast for a long. If I was in a position where I had a labor intensive job or even a job that made me stand on my feet all day, I don't know that I could have fasted for 40 days. But I have a job that allows me to sit. I was already 500 pounds. So a lot of times, if you're that heavy, you probably don't have a super active life. And so for that 40 days, I while I was more active because I was lighter, tried not to take on big new things that would drain me because I wanted to survive them. So that is, I guess, what I would say as far as my tips for making it through a fast. For what? We're at 29 minutes already. So another thing I was going to talk about, I guess I'll talk about it today, and maybe I won't get through all of it today, or we can, I'll get on again tomorrow. But I have been having some issues with, like, it's like mental or like emotional, like I feel like I'm feeling emotions, um, different. I don't know how weird that is. I guess what I wrote here, see, I feel great physically, um, but there's a lot of different mental things that are hitting me all at the same time that like each of them individually, I think that it's not a big thing, but then when they, when they're all at the same time. So I guess the first thing I had kind of written was about, like, I've lost 110 pounds in the last 66 days. And so I have, like, looser skin, or I have areas where, excuse me, um, where, like, I don't know if I'll be able to show it. I'll try to show it on camera here, but it's kind of like my arm. I don't, a little bit down here, but it's like, but anyways, and it's probably more when I'm not wearing a shirt. I see it, but like there's like the fat is rippled because it's not skin tight anymore. And so I see those things and it's frustrating because I know, like, where I'm at now, I see, like, that's just the start of stuff like that. Like I can feel like my gut is flappier, it's not thin and things like that. And so I guess where that is digging at me mentally is just kind of the fact that, like, I have signs of, like, the 7 years ago, I started at 413 when I lost 125 pounds. I'm now at 413 and I'm already showing signs of what that additional 100 pounds that I put on my body is doing. And it's really just frustrating that, I let myself get there, and then now I'm going to see these things and they're going to be something that is always there. Another thing, like I kind of started, I feel like I've been more emotional about things, like you you hear a song or you watch a video or you start talking about something, and I feel like um I get more emotional. And I don't know if that's part of the diet or the weight loss or what. Uh, is it? Yeah. And the other thing that mentally I'm having an issue with is that um, I'm like all the stuff I seem to have known or felt like was learned as far as diet and things like that. I'm not necessarily, like, it's all different now. So it's like, if is everything that I know about food wrong, I guess. And so if it's all wrong, um yeah, but what does that make it? Yes. And so I'm just trying to find a way to get through. So Bolt says here, Dr. Offer has done research on all mental cognitive issues stemming from the lack of vitamin B3. He recommends high dosages. The flushing is needed. Don't get no flush. Niacin. I'm not sure what niacin is. I guess I'll have to look that up. But vitamin B3. And then BT says, sounds like your recovery from a severe addiction. You're doing great. Yeah. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Like I said, the salt, the sugar is just kind of, I don't know, just weird. Like, I don't know if it's like, I feel like I have a clarity or if it's, I don't know. Like, because the, like, my body feels so great. Like, I sit here and I think about like just sitting here, joints, muscles, everything feels so great. Like, I had those issues with my toes right after the fast, and like, I suppose I can still kind of tell that maybe they're not perfect, but like my whole body feels so much better. I don't even, it doesn't even matter, like it doesn't even, it's not even a register, it doesn't even register, I guess. But then, yeah, there's a lot of stuff, like I said, emotions and mental and things like that that I'm trying to work through, and I'm not having, I don't have any concerns, but I thought I'd share those things with you today just to kind of um, see, like I said, I mean, the first the comment about the recovery from a severe addiction, that that's, thank you. That makes sense. And then Bolt says, almost everything people know about food is wrong. We do our best to learn, challenge what we know, change our minds, and keep learning. Yeah. I mean, that's, yeah, it's like, I can remember back when I lost weight as a sophomore in college. I was doing Advocare. It was anybody, I don't know how old you guys are, but if you know what Advocare is, it's a pill regimen. You pretty much wake up, you take a few pills, some fish oil, you wait 45 minutes to eat, and then you kind of do that routine every day. I think that what was successful for me on that was that I was on a routine. I do well with that, I suppose. And then also, uh, when I was taking it back in the early 2000s, there was ephedra in it, uh, and that seemed to be, if it wasn't physically, if it wasn't actually helping me, it was helping me mentally. But I'm sure the ephedrine or whatever it was helping, because uh, after I had lost like 50, 60 pounds, I wasn't super fat yet back then, but over 300, I'm sure. But once they yanked the ephedra out of it, it quit working for me, or I quit believing that it would work for me. It had nothing to do with the ephedra. It was more that I was eating less calories, but the stuff I was eating was also junk too. I remember every morning I would eat a plain bagel, just nothing on it, bagel out of the college cafeteria. And then I don't remember what the rest of my diet was, but I do remember that. Every day I look forward to eating that plain white bagel. But I think I might look into some more of that stuff about that addiction. We'll look into the vitamin B3 as well. About thanks guys for listening. I'm gonna pop off here today. The Instagram is at Fahsting, FAHSTING. I don't know. I have to sign in here and that one. I can go onto my channel. So at the end of the video here, I'm going to put in the chat. This should be the link to the Discord if anybody wants to join the Discord. That is the link. We have a few people in there talk about weight loss, how you're doing. If you have any questions, concerns, love to hear about. Love to hear from you on the Discord. I will be back on tomorrow, and you guys all have a great day.